Hi, I'm in my 2015 BMW m235i, and I'm currently getting hot air from the driver's side but not the passenger side, despite them both being turned up to the highest temperature and temperature here being on red. I've heard that it might be the HVAC Door Actuator, so I bought one of those. Here's the part number 604942. This is the actuator I'm going to install by taking out the glove box and getting in there. The first thing that I need to do, because it's blowing cold air out of the passenger side, is to turn this. So apparently the actuator is stuck at the coldest setting, so I'm just going to turn them both all the way down and turn off the car, take out my battery or unplug the battery, and then get in there, because I will be moving the airbag out of the way. I will not be unplugging it, but I'll be moving it slightly, and just to be safe, gonna undo the battery. So I'll do that next. Before I get any further, here are the tools I'm going to use. I have a ratchet, actually two of them, one little tiny one that I'll need to get into the space because it's really tight, 10 millimeter socket, 20 T20 torque, and a T30 torque is what this is. And then I have another 20, and then also a drill come in handy. Not necessarily needed, but will help. All right, to disconnect the battery, you want to get up under here with your 10 mil. You want to ratchet this off and then disconnect the battery, the negative, and put it to the side there, and then we should be good to go. Don't forget to make sure your trunk doesn't close by wedging a towel there. You can also unlock one of the seats so you can get back if something happens. Prior to disconnecting the battery, I had moved my passenger seat all the way back. That's because I'm going to be laying down with my back on the floor there, looking up and doing a lot of work underneath the glove box to remove screws. There's two 10 millimeter nuts that are very easy to spot. Those are the first things we need to remove. They're under here. One on this side right there, and the other closer to the driver's side. You can't really see it, but they're there, very clear. There's only two there. I'm going to take those off and then pull down the trim. All right, I removed those two bolts. Now I'm just going to pull down on this. You can use a pry tool if you want, but it's in with tab there, tab in the middle, I believe. Oh yeah, it's right there, and then another one. You do need to unclip this light. You just pull on it. It'll be difficult to do with one hand, so I'll do that and get back. All right, with that piece removed, I'm going to remove two other trim pieces. The first one is this piece right here. You can just pull. Again, trim tool works, but so does your hands. Just be careful. But yeah, there it goes. You can do that. Just did that one-handed, and again, clips. Yeah, looks all good. Taking that out. The reason is because the bolts here. The next part is to take this piece off. There's one bolt behind here. The easiest way I've seen to do that is pull the trim back, just like that. Don't have to pull it that far. And then again, just use your hands. Trim tool also helps, but there's a bolt right there that you'll need to get out. I think that's a T20. These are all T20s. We have revealed below here the airbag. I'm going to remove this next with, I believe these are T30s. There's one right here and on the other side right here. And then I'm just going to lay it to the side. I'm not going to unplug it. The reason is there's another T20 here for the glove box and another one here, as well as there's one underneath, like right here under the airbag and here. So I need to take all those out. So I'm going to do that next. So take this one out. Well, first I'm going to take the airbag out. And then this one, there's one under here, one under the airbag, one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one way back here, 5. So I'll do that and get back to you. All right, so there's the airbag. I just took it off. See, it's still connected. I just laid it off to the side there, and that'll be fine. And then there's another T20 there, so that was underneath the airbag, and another one on the other side. I've been able to get pretty much all these T20s out with my drill. The one on this side here, I'm gonna have to use my ratchet. So I'm gonna do those and then pull the glove box out. All right, I'm ready to pull the glove box out. It's gonna be a little tricky to do one-handed. Oh, there it goes. There are some, it gets kind of held up right there. Just got to pop it out. And then there's some cables that you have to disconnect. They all just pull out. That one, there's one, oh yeah, right there. And then there's one there. Just pull those 3 out. There was one cable that was like kind of secured to the very back, back there, but it wasn't, how do I say, it wasn't plugged into anything. It was just kind of secured there as a line. I undid that previously, so nothing to worry about. So I'm gonna unplug these. All right, with the glove box out, you can kind of see where we're getting to. This cable on the side, you had to press those. This one you just pull out. The top one was the hardest to get off, but it was just a pull. And then I believe, yeah, this cable was kind of attached to the back of the glove box, but it didn't, it was just like connected there, I think, for tucking it away. So the actuator is way back here. That's the first screw, the T20 that you want to get out. The other one is behind this thing, and that's why we had to take the glove box out to get there. So this, you can kind of just pull down and it releases off this little clip piece right there. And then what I found is if you just pull down on this housing, it kind of pops out of place here, and you can get to the back screw, because otherwise you have no room to pull that back screw out. So again, I'm just gonna pull down on this top. Yeah, I'm gonna pull down on this top part, kind of top, Yeah, and it just pops kind of right out. And just removing it that much, like an inch, so it's still kind of all there, but it gives you enough space to get to the torque, which I'll try to get on my back. This is what part where I have to get on my back and use the tiny wrench that I have. I'll try to get an image. It might be difficult, but that's essentially how I was able to access that second T20. All right, so I am laying down in the passenger side, and this is where I want to be. And there you go, little tiny one. And way up here, it's still difficult to get to, but I can do it. So I'm going to unscrew these, and we'll have the piece out, and then we'll get to put in the new one. All right, I got it, both T20s unscrewed. Now I can just reach in there, and I had to kind of wiggle it out in place, but it did come out. Oh, this is hard to do with one hand. All right, so I got the piece out. It is stuck onto a gear mechanism in there, so you kind of have to pull out straight back and out. It's in there like that. So yeah, just pull out straight. You can't pull it out sideways or anything because of that gear mechanism. And then I did forget one tool that you might need, or that's helpful to release this clip. Just a little flathead, just like that, will help you release this. Really hard to do with one hand, so I'm going to do that with two hands and then show you a little more detail image. So yeah, I got it released. Just push like that, and if you push that down and then pull the piece down, it will release. So there it is. And the new one I got looks identical, which is a good sign, I guess. So I'll get that out and we'll plug it in and put it into place. So interesting little spot back there, but you can kind of line it up pretty well. It has like little tabs that fall into place. Just wiggle it around, and yeah, that's about it. Get the screws back in, and just do everything in the opposite order, and you should be good. Remember to put this back in place. You can kind of, it just pops really back in, like that's it, a little tiny pop, and then this piece just popped back in place basically by itself. While you're down here, change the cabin air filter. I learned that the arrows on the filter should point towards the engine, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, I'm just gonna put everything back, put the glove box back, plug everything in. Yeah, basically screw everything back in, put the airbag back, put all the trim pieces that were just sitting right here back, and hopefully it blows hot air on both sides.